James Lacatski.
Lacatski.
So he just came out with a new book, maybe a couple weeks ago, month ago at most, called "Inside the U.S. Government Covert UFO Program: New Insights," and this is the third book in a trilogy, basically. So I'm going to read a little bit here, Suzanne.
Sure.
Dr. James Lacatski is an American nuclear engineer with expertise in fusion plasmas and directed energy systems. His career includes a term as program manager, contracting officer representative, security coordinator, and counterintelligence coordinator for the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program, or AAWSAP, at the Defense Intelligence Agency. In his writings and public commentary, he links his engineering and aerospace background with investigative work into UAP or UFOs and allegedly anomalous experimental aerospace systems. He is the co-author of a book series often referred to under the umbrella title Skinwalkers at the Pentagon series. So we know the first one that came out with the Napster and Colm Kelleher. And it traces his claimed involvement in the AAWSAP program, his investigations at Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, and government UAP programs. The first volume was in 2021, the one I just mentioned. The second volume came out in 2023, which was called Initial Revelations, where he made some very bold claims, which is going to be the center of what we're going to talk about in just a couple minutes. But the new one is called New Insights. Together, the trilogy claims to offer a technical engineering viewpoint of covert UFO programs, U.S. government aerospace threat assessment, and anomalous phenomena largely outside the mainstream of public disclosure. In the second book, Lacatski made the very bold claim that he witnessed and gained access to the inside of a craft of unknown origin.
He sure did.
He did. I don't know how that went over my head. I guess I didn't even know that second book had come out. But very bold claim. And it was confronted on the Weaponized podcast with Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. They had Colm Kelleher on and James Lacatski. So I thought it'd be interesting if we watched a pretty heated discussion between these four individuals about this claim, about Lacatski gaining access to a craft of unknown origin. Should we give that a watch?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me find it here. And then where this story goes down a rabbit hole. Here we go. Here's the video from the Weaponized podcast.
Officially allowed to tell us that the United States government has in its possession a craft of unknown origin, and you were able to access the inside. Is that correct?
The wording that you read is correct. You're going beyond the wording.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you, did that meeting happen? And is it true? And it's true.
Yes.
Okay, so you're telling us, you told us, because you were allowed to tell us, that our government has a UFO in its possession and has been able to access the inside of it, right?
Yes.
Well, that's what I
know. I was allowed to tell you. Let me show the back of the book. This is.
I know. But hold up, George. Will you translate,
yeah.
George?
All right, let's try another tack. How do we know it's a craft and not a doorstop? We accessed it. It has no engine. It has no wings. No fuel. It doesn't. We don't know that it travels. Do we know it's a craft or it's just a rock?
George, you're going into the further discussion that occurred that day.
All right.
We can't go there. But let me tell you, we're going to try to cover that in the future. But it's delicate. It makes the technology described in here look primitive.
Why is it delicate? Why is this topic that the United States government has a UFO in its possession and we've been reverse engineering it? You've admitted it. Why is it delicate?
The details. I'm old school. I won't use the term adversary, competitor, as the way we describe. We are surrounded, maybe not surrounded, but hopefully not so, by our enemies. And our enemies, you can be sure they're listening to this show right now. You can be sure that they were monitoring AAWSAP. You can be sure that perhaps they had employees, hopefully not in GIA, but in the contractor part, that were giving out information. I know that. So the thing is we can't say anything more than what we've been approved to say.
Okay.
What is that?
Okay. So, details. That's something I want to tackle next because you had the rare opportunity to attend Seoul Symposium last year where Dr. Eric Davis spoke. And that's where we're going to head next with this story because I have stumbled down the rabbit hole that is James Lacatski. And I found some interesting stuff that has to do with this. But Amanda asked a very good question. I saw that you commented on that. Why is this guy not speaking in front of Congress? He won't. He made it clear that he will not testify before Congress about this. Why?
Why? Why publish a book and not get in front of Congress? And my response to her was, that's why he's my number one choice for a congressional subpoena.
A subpoena.
Let's take the choice away.
Yeah.
Let's take the choice away.
The problem with that being, like you had mentioned in the past, hostile witnesses, like say we do subpoena him, is he just going to be like, read my book, bitches? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's harder in person to play that game when you are in the hot seat on a witness stand under a subpoena. And I just think it's worth the effort. Let's do it. We get what we get. You can't control what you get. You can't control what they do. My grandmother used to have a funny saying, and it was, I can't make you behave, but I can make you sorry you didn't. Yeah. And that's the way I feel about Mr. Lacatski. I love her. I can't make you tell it, but I can make you sorry you didn't. Not me as an individual, me as an American citizen, for the government to do it. Yeah. But I just think, take the gloves off. Good grief.
Yeah. I mean, look, he could take the heat. He was doing it there with Corbell. Like I like if he doesn't want to say something, he's not going to say it. But like to make the claim that you gained access to a craft of unknown origin, possibly non-human intelligence, and to kind of, and in the next clip we're going to play, does expand a little bit and give a bit more detail about the possible craft and the things observed about it, according to the engineering background of Lacatski. Maybe we should just play that. Let's go ahead. Okay, so what you're going to see is first a tiny bit of a conversation that George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell had at some UFO conference. I'm not sure which. I think it was one in Oregon at some point. And then the second half of the clip is Dr. Eric Davis speaking last year at the Seoul Symposium. So let me find that, and we'll go ahead and comment after this. I'm interested to know what you think about this one, Suzanne. Okay, here it is.
And try to get it transferred to a government program called AAWSAP, these acronyms. They tried to get it over there so they could open up this egg-shaped UFO. They breached the hull of it. They were able to get inside of it. The head of the DIA UFO program admitted it on our podcast. He straight fucking said it. It's not headline news. Oh, by the way, extraterrestrial technology, we got inside of it.
Jim Lacatski describes in his recent book of a year or two ago of how he was able to see an intact craft and go inside of it, and he couldn't recognize any kind of power propulsion system inside of it. A four-star general described being able to see that craft as well, touched it, said in all of his decades as a military officer, combatant commander, NATO commander, it's like, oh yeah, this isn't anything that we ever made, and it's not anything the Soviets, the Chinese, or any other foreign country on the world could even make. It's just strange. It's just really strange.
Really strange. Yeah.
Okay. So couple things. An egg-shaped craft. That's interesting.
Isn't it?
Sounds a lot like what Jake Barber had retrieved or been part of a retrieval of. Egg-shaped craft have been synonymous with UFOs throughout the decades, but that is pretty interesting. They would go on to talk about the propulsion and stuff like that as well. So that was interesting. But the thing that caught me off guard with the Eric Davis part was he mentioned, well, let me backtrack just for a sec. The friend that Jeremy Corbell was talking about, who was possibly in possession of this and that it was stopped or was going to gain possession of it, is Robert Bigelow. This has been made public, that it was made public by George Knapp at the latest UAP hearing, that Robert Bigelow was going to get a craft or was going to study a craft, right?
Right. This is ringing a bell. Oh my God. I just put
and
the
he was stopped
together, and he stopped. In fact, he spent something, I'm going to get the number wrong, but he spent something like $25 million, Bigelow did, to build the facility to accept this craft. And then it got yanked.
Man, wonder where that money went.
I know. Who got that?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, fast forward. In that clip, Eric Davis said a 4-star general also touched this craft and was aware of this and was also one of the people who gained access to the craft, as it were. So my mind was like, who's this general? Who the hell is he talking about? Like, we got to find this general. Is this someone we could subpoena or possibly talk to? And I found him.
Did you?
I did.
I think they're super sleuthing.
I think so. This is General Jack Sheehan, and both by the words of Eric Davis via the Davis-Wilson documents or memo in the past, and also writings from Jacques Vallée in his past journals. Allegedly, this guy, General Jack Sheehan, he was the Supreme Allied Commander, Atlantic, from October 1994 to September of 1997. And he served as the Director of Operations for the Joint Chiefs. In the writings of Jacques Vallée, apparently, his boss instructed him to take a flight to a certain facility, presumably a Lockheed site, where he saw and touched a craft. He found a $9 billion discrepancy in budgets, which led him to uncover a project on craft with no oversight and using Defense Intelligence Agency money. So basically, Suzanne, I think this is the guy. I think he was the one. I think that he was the one to first kind of uncover these projects that had no oversight. And look at where we are today.
Wow.
With David Grush and all of these people saying that these legacy programs of UAP crash retrievals exist and then are put into private sectors, but are still being funded by government agencies. So it's just like corrupt as all hell when it comes to these UAP programs.
Right.
So,
well,
I don't know.
Exactly. And, they will mix a gray program with a black program in order to get the security for the gray program as well. So there's all of that going on constantly.